guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here, and it is convention season, so you know what that means. I found more Super Nintendo games as I'm trying to go for that full North American library. And last time we left off with 520 out of the 721 that we need, so we were just shy of hitting 200 left in the set. Well, I definitely surpassed that, so now I need less than 200 games. But when I went out to PAX East 2024 in Boston, Massachusetts, I found some crazy games, some crazy deals, and I just had a great time. So we'll just jump into it. This game is more of an educational game, and this thing goes for over $100. This right here is another one off the list. I had to have something special for only having 200 games now left to complete the full Super Nintendo library. So I met some great people at this convention. They definitely hooked me up on these Super Nintendo games. And here we have Packy and Marlin. So this is something that I had no idea that this thing existed. Every time that I've ever seen this game, the label has been completely destroyed. And I was not going to spend that kind of money. So this right here, it is about diabetes. So this sounds like a crazy game, but this is a awareness video game. So a platformer where you have these two different elephants right there, and pretty much you have to eat the right foods. You have to check your blood glucose levels. I know this sounds like a crazy interesting game, but you cannot eat too much as you're going around, but you have to collect other items. So you get to answer questions throughout the game, so that's where the whole educational part comes in. It does play more of a platformer, and you have this like camp walkie that you're going through, but this is a wild game, just super expensive, so difficult to find, and I never would have expected that this game be about that. So they pretty much have like apples and different, items that you can eat. You don't want to overeat. You don't want to pick things that are bad for you. So you have to pay attention in this game. But this is one that will probably just sit on the shelf. I know that's crazy, putting a $100+ game on the shelf, not really spending all this time playing it. But I want to know, did you play this game and were you disappointed when you got it? I cannot imagine this game being that fun for kids back in the day, but I want to know what you guys think. Now on to this game. This one is so much more fun, and I'll have to get this cartridge cleaned up. So this is Kirby Superstar. It has 8 games in one. This is really a fantastic game and a whole compilation of games. So I absolutely love Kirby, and this just feels so refreshing as you're playing through this game. So you can kind of go through different speed runs of the game, but I love how it has different options, and it has some of the best Kirby options. So you start out a little bit easier. Some of the games are a little bit more difficult. You start out with the Spring Breeze. So this is kind of like a remake of Kirby's Dream Land on the original Game Boy. One of my all-time favorites. I absolutely love that game. And this, you're just going around. You have another platformer where you have different boss fights as you're going through. You have this gourmet race where you get to race and just kind of beat others. Now you have just so much as you're exploring throughout the game. You have Milky Way Wishes, which is also a platformer, and Kirby can obtain powers, not just absorb them. The soundtrack is awesome. I absolutely love these games back in the day. Anytime that I hear these certain songs, it just really brings me back home, just playing all of this. So this one feels so polished. It feels great. And this is one that I'm super thrilled to have. Definitely finding one that's a little bit more beat up, but hopefully I can get it all cleaned up. And it's way better than the first game, even though it's a third of the price. It's just insane to me that people pay some of these prices for some of these wild, crazy games, whether you see them often, whether you don't, whether they're fun, whether they're not. So if you guys are enjoying this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification, because I scored tons more while in Boston, and I can't wait to share those upcoming Super Nintendo videos with you guys. And then next up, we have this Arcana. I think I'm pronouncing it right. But this is one that I've always seen the cover, you have this female on here. She has a sword. She has some cards. I didn't really know what to expect, but this is very interesting. So it's like a first-person dungeon crawling RPG card game. So it's very interesting. You have different like magic, spells. The combat feels great in this game, but it's just a slower movement of a gameplay. And it's pretty helpful when you have the map in this game. The music is fantastic. There's just so many different ideas in this. So I really will have to dive into this just to kind of see what it's about a little bit more, as it does have a slow start, but I'd really like to see what they were doing, as it has like a different style, a different feeling, and it is hard. So this game does not have enough parts to save at, so this is one that'll be a little bit more challenging, so I'll have to dedicate some more time to it. Then on to this copy of Mr. Do. So this is an arcade classic. I remember seeing this in the arcades, seeing it back in the day on some of the earlier titles, but you have this clown. This kind of reminds me of Dig Dug, but this is just an interesting game. It's pretty relaxing, definitely a fun one, and it's just essentially Dig Dug. So pretty much you get to dig, and to exit a level or like complete the stage, you have to either consume all the cherries from the soil, or you can crush each of your enemies. It's simple, yet fun, yet charming, yet relaxing, like all at the same time. There are some other options too, but I'm still trying to maneuver through the game and just see, as I barely remember this from back in the day. It's one that I did not spend a whole lot of time playing, but I definitely remember it from those arcade days. So I'm definitely curious, do you remember this game, and did you prefer Dig Dug over this one? Then on to another Star Trek game. There are quite a few on the Super Nintendo. We have Star Trek Starfleet Academy. So it says Starship Bridge Simulator. So this one's actually an interesting game, and this one I think I'm going to dive into it a little bit more. So this is also like a PC game as well, but of course we have it on the Super Nintendo. So it's your Starship Bridge Simulator, meaning that it has like this 3D style gameplay. It looks great on the Super Nintendo. There is some combat, and this was a great game at the time. I felt like they did such a great job. And since you are in this whole like simulator and you're at the Starfleet Academy, you can go through the academy. There are different training options, different missions, different things like that. So if you are a Star Trek fan, you will definitely enjoy this game. And this is one of the more fun, but yet very inexpensive games on the Super Nintendo. So you'll definitely have to check this one out. Just like that, adding 5 more Super Nintendo games into the collection, getting under that 200 mark, starting with 520 out of 721, and now having 525 games. That is insane. Just having only quite a few left. And I'm just so thrilled because some of these games are really fun ones. Some of them are more expensive. Not really too sure why. But I'm just super glad that I got some amazing deals out there at PAX East 2024. So I can't wait to show you guys what else I picked up, because I went to a video game store and they let me stay after hours. I scored some great items, filmed some great content, so you guys don't want to miss out for that. So let me know in the comments down below if you played any of these, if you have any of these, and if you're not really interested. Let me know, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out all of my other videos, and stay tuned for more.